And we are live, my top boss. Mm, mm, mm. How are you doing, my top boss? So glad to have you. Really, really appreciate. How are you doing, my boss? So today I want us to get into wiring here. We are wiring 1 gang, 2 gang, as well as 3 gang. Now, people think that it is a very complicated wiring, but the trick is definitely on the switches. And we are going to talk about that. We're going to take a look at that. Definitely, we are using these white conduits. These are suitable for surface wiring or surface installation. So this is what we are going to use. And my top boss, we are also going to use these important features when it comes to electrical installation. What is the name given to it, my top boss? Let me know. So let me just adjust my mic here, so that we don't have an issue when it comes to sound. When it comes to electrical without sound, we are going to have it rough, my top boss. So what is the name given to this? Does it fit very well? Perfect. I think when I'll be old, I will use this as my, my walking stick. Because I love electrical. So, this one will probably be the handle, that I'll be using. And then I'll just cut this a little bit to walk with it. Probably I'll be a very old guy just looking back in time at the videos and be like, you know what, John, good job. You did something great because you were working on yourself. I already have my top boss, Isaac Amdogo says, live from Kitale town, my hometown. I was born in Kitale. Kitale, where my top boss? Thank you so much. So without further ado, let us go straight to our today's topic, my top boss. I don't want to take much of your time, but I would really, really love, to be on the move so that these are two-way. These are two-way, 1 gang. And what we have here is 3 gang, two-way, as well as a 1 gang. Now, these are three different switches, and they all have a purpose. They all have functions, So with this one, we definitely have those important switches right there. How is my sound coming along? How is my video coming along? How is the clarity? How is the network, my top boss? We are trying to improve here at Top Heights. And one day, like I normally say, we will be streaming across all those social media platforms, because you know what, we are in tech. An electrician is a technologist, and we must be better at what we do. Now we have these three switches. We have the 1 gang switch, we have the 2 gang switch, and we have the 3 gang switch. We are going to wire them. And my top boss, I'm also going to demonstrate that type of wiring using these 3 bulbs here. With the 3 gang, those 3 gangs will be able to, each gang will be able to light these particular switches here, and 1 gang will light this one, another gang this one, another one this one. We also have two gangs. You can select 2 of these bulbs to operate or to activate them. So shall we do it, my top boss? Of course, yes. Now, just for us to kickstart everything, we are getting our power from the consumer unit. Now, getting our power from the consumer unit, I may decide to have the switches on this particular level here. And then I will have the first bulb here, the second bulb, the third bulb. I don't know how that makes sense, but you be the judge, my top boss. Or should we lift this consumer unit here? Don't know. We transfer this consumer unit to this point here so that you can make good use of this space, so that you can have the first bulb, second bulb, the third bulb. And then all of these bulbs, we shall interconnect them and have a 3-gang switch here. John, you're bright. And then we can have a 1-gang here, you know, to activate this bulb. And then we can also have another switch here. This switch now will be able to activate what? We'll be able to activate the 2 bulbs here. Now that one is going to be tricky. And then we have the 3-gang, and then we set up. All right, I know what I will do. Actually, what I will do, I'll have 3 bulbs here. And then these 3 bulbs, we can have a 3-gang switch here, isn't it? Can that make work simple so that I have 3 bulbs served by a 3-gang here? And then we have 2 bulbs here, and we have a 2-gang switch here. And then what we are going to do is to have a 1 bulb here served by that. But again, the source of this power will come or will originate from the consumer unit as 1 line. Now, that one will be having what we refer to as a single switch, you know, a single MCB serving those particular bulbs or line. Before I continue, let me first of all say thank you so much to my top bosses who have supported me in this channel. These are members, you know, they are currently members on our YouTube channel, which is Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Number 1 is Adam's Gift. Thank you so much, my top boss, for being a member, you know, a channel member. I also have Ogunleye Samuel. I salute you, my top boss, for being a member. Leletu Mafufu. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Leletu Mafufu is a member of Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. I have Seth Mulama. Thank you so much for being a member, Seth. It means a lot. And last but not least, I have a very special member who has been a channel member for 8 months. This is Ja'afar Yusuf Bashir. Thank you so much, my top boss, Ja'afar Yusuf Bashir. Those are important people when it comes to me when I am definitely creating content, because you're not only a subscriber, you're not only consuming my content, you are also supporting me by becoming a member. You know, this involves finances. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate you, my top boss. And this is definitely very special to me. So thank you so much. Adam's gift, Ogunleye Samuel Leletu Mafufu, Seth Mulama, and Ja'afar Yusuf Bashir, who has definitely been a member at Top Heights Electricals and Electricians for mark these 8 months. It means a lot to me, my top boss. I really do appreciate. Without further ado, let us go straight to wiring. Now, I want us to use these boxes here. I don't know whether you have started commenting and telling me what is the name of you know, these important features here. So I will have them. I'll have the 3 of them. So I can have one here, another one here, and another one here. All right. So, and then from there, I can have right there. So, my top boss, if you are ready for our today's session, kindly smash that like button. So what we do, we start with this one here. And you know, as an electrician, you are definitely a designer. You come up with great ideas. These ideas are meant to make work easier, are meant to make work to make sense. You know, work has to make sense, because assuming that you're not the same person that will go back to, you know, carry out the electrical installation or electrical repair work. So we want to make sure that, you know what, you have done such a perfect job. I'm thinking it would be wise of me to, move this consumer unit, because what I'm foreseeing is a huge problem, So will you allow me to kindly shift where this consumer unit is so that I can have an easier time, wiring my bulbs here. So what to do is to simply, because again, remember, we have to test it. We have to definitely test everything. So where are my tools? I can't find my tools. I'm trying to look for what? Trying to look for, this is a stripper, and it is also a cutter. It comes in handy for you as an electrical technician when you are working out there in the field. Of late, if you follow me on social media platforms, you have noted that I have a session where, or I have, in the morning, I call you to answer to several questions, and I begin by saluting you by saying, "Tool morning, my top boss." Tool, instead of good, I say tool morning. And I do that intentionally because I want to remind you, my top boss, to be very, very serious when it comes to tools. When other motivational speakers tell people, you need to invest in yourself, you need to do A, B, C, D, you need to do this, you need to do that. Here, what I tell you, my top boss, is not really motivation. What I tell you is to encourage you to invest in yourself in terms of tools. That is something that is going to save you on a lot of things, because once you are in the field working, kwanza, I like talking to beginner electricians. Where are my people? Beginner electricians, students, my top boss. If you have discovered this channel, I can guarantee you, you are in the best place. Why? Because I will tell you most of the things that people don't want to tell you, especially electricians. And in this journey, if you have a bigger brother who will guide you, then you are very lucky. Myself, I had a lot of people who would guide me, who would talk to me on a lot of issues concerning, electrical, and I really, really do appreciate. So if you are in this channel, we will definitely guide you. We will direct you on a lot of things to do with electrical, and we will not leave you hanging. We will also talk about electrical business. We will also be guiding you. Oh my goodness. We'll also be guiding you when it comes to matters, um, business, business, electrical business, so that become better. Because at the end of the day, let no one lie to you. At the end of the day, we want money. At the end of the day, we are looking forward to, creating value for customers, as well as improving our lives. So, and that is definitely one of the human instincts that matters a lot. So there's no way that you will be solving people's problems and then you go home empty-handed, or you go home hungry. Remember, your family is looking up to you, and so we don't want your family members or your loved ones to start cursing electrical and start redirecting you and telling you, you could even have studied finance or medicine. The other uncle is doing this, is doing that, a lot of noise. Electrical engineering is a very great career for you, my top boss. Let no one lie to you. Now, I thank you so much, my top boss. I already see most of you already on the stream. And if you are ready to learn and gain value, and if you are joining us for the first time, my top boss, smash that like button. Also, If you are not subscribed to this channel, subscribe so that you don't miss most of the videos that we tackle here when it comes to electrical. Now I want us to, so I will deal with these. This one is just for power. So towards the end we shall deal with this one, but I want us to first of all wire. So we will have power coming from the consumer unit. It will serve the three bulbs here. So first of all, I'm going to do that. So I will have the conduit come from here and feed this particular power point, lighting point, and then from here we'll have another bulb here, another bulb right here, and so we will also be able to have the three switches here, and these three switches will be connected here. All right, and then I will also have a two-gang switch here, the one-gang switch here, and I will demonstrate how different these switches are. All right, today I'm having a challenge with that screwdriver, so I think I will have to use this one because it is magnetic, it will save on a lot of time. You see that is why it is important for you to invest in tools. So my top boss, as I was saying, invest in tools, you know and I'm telling you, it will save you on a lot, because assuming someone wants an assistant with a drill, you have an engineer who is looking for someone who can do some work somewhere, and the condition is you must have a drill. So if you have a drill with you are safe. But again, that one is at an advanced stage. If you are a beginner, start with a tester. They are going for electrical wiring, fittings and the likes. So if they call upon you and an engineer will just mention that we have wiring exercise going on, they don't need to tell you what to carry. They just know that if we tell you that we are uh, we are at the wiring stage, they just know that you know what to carry. you know at the wiring stage you need this, you need that. You need a pliers because you will cut. You need a steel tape because you need to draw the cables, such things. So an engineer doesn't have to keep on mentioning everything to you. So when it comes to the wiring stage, you must be able to have that, my top boss. So this one is the middle there, the center 5. All right, so we also have that at the middle, the center there. This one at 5, so that our work can look neat, isn't it? And then we have our spirit level right there. So I'm trying to see whether I will have something that is very desirable. How fast am I? Am I fast? So I'm simply creating lighting points so that we can have points where we will have our first bulb, second bulb, third bulb. Now we need power. So for power, we will definitely require neutral and live. All right, so that we can link them. That power comes from the consumer unit. What do we need? We need this conduit here. So this conduit will go all the way and then come here. So you need to use this important tool here. Today, if again you have been following me, this is what I was talking about. Look at that. I was talking about this. I was asking, what is the name of this important tool? I forgot to post on our YouTube post for you, my top bosses, but on Facebook, which is Top Heights Electricals, as well as on TikTok, I asked this question. And so my top bosses who follow me right there will actually uh, share my sentiments that indeed that is what I did. So what is the name of this important tool right here? Mm, look at that. Now, again, something I love about these white conduits is that they never disappoint, but they are expensive. They never disappoint when it comes to bending. You know, you bend them nicely. I think I've overdone it. So if I have a conduit going in, I think the best place will be here, or should it be here? So from the consumer unit, I think I'm overthinking. What I should have done is just connect it right here, isn't it? What do you think? Connect it just directly there. So what I'm going to do is to cut at this point here. Quick, fast. Oh my God, where's my blade? Come on. What? Definitely need a table here. So instead of doing a lot of overthinking, I should just use the shortest route. Why is the shortest route important when it comes to electrical installation? Number one, it saves on time. Number two, saves on materials. So you want to save your customers money when it comes to materials, use the shortest route. The customer will definitely appreciate you for that, and you probably get more referrals. No. There we have it. So the shortest route, that is what we have going all the way directly to, the consumer unit right there. What do you think about that work? So we get our power from the consumer unit. Then again, making things very simple, very easy, we're going to connect the batteries. So we need single batteries. Probably going to be. So let me come with the batteries. In the meantime, my top boss, let me have the likes. Smash the like button. Whew. For a minute, I thought I didn't have them. But so we have our box here. So I'm going to have it directly just under so now there's a gap here. Instead of stressing myself, I'll simply make good use of it. So from here, can have it right there, isn't it? I think that one will be enough from the switch. So there we have it. An electrical technician is a designer. So you might be wondering, John, why did you start this live at the point where you are doing almost everything? You should have started it where you are installing, the just wiring. But I need your company. I love your company, my top boss. So when we are live together, I feel great. Now, there are several comments from my top bosses, and I have Jose Lampard says, I'm live from Uganda. Thank you. Thank you so much, my top boss. Jose live from Uganda. I have Bako Boom. I'm new follower and new electrical engineer. Salute and welcome to the club, top boss. Boom, And then I also have Mike Tembo. Mike Tembo, how are you? Good to see you all the way from Zambia. You are always supportive. And then I have Zado Willie says the name of that yellow tool. Oh, are you talking about, I'm not good in colors. Is it this one or which one is yellow? Which one is orange? So this one is a spirit level. This one is a cable stripper. Good. So if you're talking about this one is a spirit level, because you see it will guide you on ensuring that everything is well balanced. This one is definitely cable stripper and be able to strip your cables with ease. Nice. Thank you so much for that. I also have Haronita. Haronita says mbashara kutoka Kisii, kazi Murwa bro. Thank you so much mbashara wetu kutoka Kisii, Wakire. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I have Lord Bob says, I'm watching you live from Ghana. Bole while celebrating Eid. Eid Mubarak, my top boss. Thank you so much for finding time to be here. Kambani Banda says, I'm live from Zambia. Welcome, my top boss. And then I have hi. Eden Fon says, na mimi nipo kutoka nchini Rwanda. Karibu sana. Therefore says, live watching from Nairobi, Kabete Road. The best engineer, teacher, Mr. John. Oh, I'm humbled. Thank you so much for that comment. I really do appreciate you. Electrogenius, Electrogenius, you've been here for a while. Thank you so much for supporting me always. Thank you so much. You say live from Friends National Polytechnic, Kaimosi. Wow, I will one day visit there, my top boss. Thank you. Roger Charos says live from Kenya, Mtuapa. Eish, upo katika live hii bana. Nashukuru sana mwenzangu. Haya, tuendelee basi. Nashukuru sana kwa kuweza kunijoin. I appreciate you, my top bosses, for joining me, and not just joining, but you are very, very active, in this live stream. That means a lot. When I have top bosses watching me and also commenting, most of you comment on my videos, you like, you share, you do all those, and you even download, so many things, and I really do appreciate you a lot. I really, really, really appreciate you. It means a lot when I have your attention, as well as when you are very, very much active on the live stream, also on the channel. It is a privilege, it is a great honor for me, and I really do appreciate you so much. Now let me have the second. What is the name given to this, my top boss? So what is the correct name? Top boss, please be let us be engaging, or let us be engaged in this live stream. So I think I'll have a three gang switch here, so that it can be so easy for me to wire them. You can also have a one gang here. Either way, any can do. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm prepared. I'm ready. As electrical technicians, we never fear anything. We are ready for anything, because you can go to a customer's premises, and what you are expecting to find there, my friend, you find something else. But if you are ready for it, you don't need to be worried about a thing. Just go ahead and do it. I'll be shifting the camera closer, so that can have a closer look. And thank you so much for the likes that you have already given this live stream. I really do appreciate. I also appreciate the fact that my top bosses, you have subscribed to my channel. I will still be giving a shout out to my top bosses who have been members to my channel. Thank you so much for being a member. You are not just subscribed, you don't just watch, but you support the channel. You support me in the many ways that you can. And so it means a lot to me, because it means that you appreciate my work, and you also assist me in purchase of these items, because I have to purchase these items so that I can be able to guide with them. So when you subscribe, when you become a member, I get a little something, so that I can be able to support this work. Now we have that, so we need to link these three. Once we link them, we will also be linking these switches, right? And it's very simple for me. So I will simply connect from this point to this point using my blade. I don't know how I'll achieve that, because I've already, but again, it's not difficult for me. Just cut. Just cut like that. Start from here. Oops, that's broken, buddy. Come on, John, what happened? I think you'll forgive me that this part here is broken, but again, let me show you what we'll do. Have to come up with a way out. Hmm? It is never difficult for us right there. So because I had already designed where it will be, yeah. So let me have the last one connected here, like so, and then I cut. Don't want to break another one, so let me wisely do what is needful. Like that. There we have it, right where it was. So I don't need to use spirit level again. So we at least have a connection from the source, the consumer unit, to the first, second, the third. Now what we need to do is to loop to the switches. You see how fast you can be once you have already designed it. It becomes super easy for you. The only hurdle is at the point of the design and the initial connection. But once you are done with that, it becomes so easy. Everything starts to flow. See that? And also for that, cut at this point. And you connect it like so. Finally, or as they say, last but not least, have this one. Then I cut it. Remember, when it comes to lighting, the most important point is where you'll get power. Very important. Where you get power. I will also be demonstrating to you about a very important concept which is referred to as it is referred to as so one gang, two gang, three gang, right? 1, 2, 3 have the power. So for 1, 2, 3, which one can we start with? Can we start with the one gang? Okay, first of all, let us start with supplying power here. You know, we will require two important cables. We require the phase as well as the neutral. So that is the wiring. So we need to get, first of all, that power sorted out. So here's my black cable. Have the black, have the red. So in my country, that is what we use in Kenya. Beautiful country, Kenya. We use black for neutral, red for phase. Okay, that is when we are talking about the single phase. So we simply, if it were a very long distance, I would have used what we refer to as a steel tape. But now, because it's just here, you don't need a steel tape. But again, you need to remember this. You are wiring in the consumer unit, it will need to go all the way to the neutral bus. So our cable here has to extend all the way, make all the corners, and then we need to come all the way here. That is just what I normally do, so that in future, if we are carrying out any repairs, we definitely have created enough room for maintenance work. Look at that work. When it comes to the face, you can connect it down here, but again, you also need to make good use of that space. So if it were me, I would not even cut this cable, you know. So at least for the neutral, I will simply leave it at that, because I used this cable already. There's a good joint here. So I will leave it at that. I'll have my cable go all the way inside the consumer unit, have it, you know, rotate all the way before it can come to the consumer unit here. I mean the MCB. So already we have the cable for that. So now, one important thing that we need to do is to ensure that we have, you know, for each and every switch, we must ensure that we supply it with power, the face, as well as, I mean, the neutral cable, and even supply it with the neutral as well as the face cable. So let me get those cables right. The cable in use here is a 1.5 mm. So allow me to briefly take you through. Yeah. So we will have our power supply from here, and then it will come here. So already at this point is like we have the source here. So we have the neutral as well as the face or the live connection here. So from here, what we've, because we are going to have a three gang switch here, we need four cables at this particular point. By four cables, I mean we will have to feed it with the live or the face cable, and then the other three cables will come from the lighting point or the bulb, because a bulb requires complete circuit for it to function. It requires the neutral as well as the feed from the face. So it will come from here three. So one at this particular point, another one will go all the way, and then another one will go all the way. So that is how I'm going to demonstrate a three gang. When it comes to the two gang, which is here, we may decide to, you know what, pick this lamp here as well as this lamp and wire it all the way here. When it comes to one gang, we will simply require to connect this light here with the neutral, and then the face will come all the way here, and then the other half for the lamp will also come here so that we can connect it. All right. So I don't know whether that makes sense, but I hope you have understood. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Feel free, my talk boss, to engage in our session today. My name is John Gatehi, and it is always a pleasure for me to take you through these sessions here. Because again, remember, you are my top boss. So this is my responsibility to ensure that I give the best, right? So I think that is a good camera angle for us to proceed. So like I've indicated, we are going to use 1.5 mm for our wiring. Light, you can use 1.0 or 1.5 depending on the load. Now from here, we first of all need to mark. You know, it is easy for you to simply mark which one is going to be the live cable or the phase cable. Now we have that for the lights, I mean for the, now if I may use a red tape, it may make sense. Okay, now a red tape, the cable itself is red, but for me to mark it, let me just use the red tape. You know, sometimes we create a dent on there. So if I just do that, it will mean that this is indeed a phase. But now we need 3 cables here. So what you need to do is to estimate. You know, if you are in the real scenario, you will have 3 rolls, like 3 rolls. I mean 4 rolls. And then each and every roll you have a cable like this because you don't know the distance. And then you have them go through. But now, because we can simply estimate, can just have the cables, the cable. So this one is my distance. So if I estimate, I need 4 of these. So I simply do that. Simply do that until I have 4. Thank you so much for the likes. It means a lot to me, my top boss. I can see the love coming from you. We are 19 of us. I don't know whether that is the correct number from your end. But thank you so much, my top boss. I can see from my machine here, we are 22 of us. No? So this is my hobby. I've been doing this since I was a child, but by then I was doing with solar. Made a lot of mistakes, and I really got a lot of beatings from my father because I made a lot of mistakes which were obviously avoidable. So these are the 3 cables that I have here. I've indicated that this one will be the live cable, and then this one will come. Oh my goodness, I've done a mistake. I was talking about a mistake, and that is a mistake. Because from this bulb, the cable from this bulb should be continuing all the way to this switch. One from this one should be continuing all the way to this switch. And from here, so what we have, these two have, they are okay. So up to that point, but I want us to, let me demonstrate something to you, right? So let me first of all estimate the size of the cable that I will be using. So for this one, is this one a 1.5 or a 1.0? Will this one come all the way here? Yes. So we need that one. We now need a little bit shorter cable. Sometimes I wonder why people hate on me, but it's life. I thought at first when I was coming that I would be embraced, be loved so much, but I quickly learned that here you must be prepared to give and not prepared to receive anything. If anything, you might even receive a lot of insults, but again, you have to be prepared for everything. So I'm always ready, and I do appreciate. So now Need a longer cable across that distance. At least I have this. I will use this one. So starting from the far end, we need, because you are coming all the way here, first you need these cables. You also, so if assuming you are using a steel tape, let me just use it. You know, now that we are here, we can just do a good job so that even when we are right working for a customer, you remember what John was doing, and it will make some sense to you. So using this tape, maybe it is in the same room or in a different room, but it has to make a lot of sense. We make sure that we secure the steel tape, because once everything is on the floor, you'll have a difficult time. Now, I will have my tape come all the way here, and I will demonstrate to you why. Because this is the end point, so I will have it come from here and then have it go to that point. See, it is already here, and then have it go all the way. So we have it here. Now the question that we must ask ourselves, we need a neutral from here to this point. So you take a neutral cable. We have our neutral here. I thought I had a neutral cable here. Is this one? No. So we will need a neutral cable. So those are some of the questions that you ask. We need a neutral cable, so we will ensure that it is part of our cables here. We need phase connection from, in fact, in fact, in fact what? Because this is a two gang, there's a cable that will come all the way here, continuing from here all the way to this point to connect with what will go here. So this cable will come from here all the way here continuously without being cut. So now let me extend. I know I'm overthinking, but again, it is important for us to have a clear picture of what happens when we are in the field, you know. So this is what I have. Now, questions to ask yourself is that I will need a phase connection from here. I will need another half for the bulb from here, so I include it on this point here. So because I need a longer cable, and this cable has to come from here and it will connect here. So from this point here, I will have these two, and you say that you have to indicate it. You know, it's good to indicate as you go along. So for this cable, I will simply indicate on the two ends that this is what I will use for the face. So I indicate like that, and then on this end here I indicate. In a real scenario, you know, you'll not have pieces like this one. You will have a roll, you know, an entire roll that you have placed somewhere. So you will just need to have your person marking, ensuring that this set of roll is for face, this set, and then you communicate before you cut. You know, it's usually interesting. So what I've indicated here is that this one is going to be the face. I've indicated with the tape, you know, and then this one is going to straight to the bulb from the switch. So I'll have it here. So this is the first stage where we are using our steel tape, and so you have it like that. to go all the way. Looks like a bigger portion right there. If you have not subscribed my top boss, subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss any notification when we are live. So this one will go all the way still. This one goes all the way to the bulb. Now here we will have a joint. This joint comes from the main here, the main face cable here. So that means that we will still need this cable here to come all the way here. So using our steel tape, we also need a neutral for this lighting point. So we are going to attach a neutral here. We are also going to, yes, we are going to attach a neutral here. And then because of this switch, or do I first of all wire the three gang? We go to 2 gang and then finally to 1 gang. Does that make sense? No, we can do all of them at once. So now, let me start with 1 gang, then go to 2 gang. I think it will be easier that way. So for 1 gang, this is what you do. For 1 gang, you have that, and then it will get its live connection here from the face. We need a neutral. Now I take my neutral here, but I had a piece. I take my neutral. I already have that one. So this one, the neutral, together with this, it is what we require. And then at this point, my top boss, push it. I mean, you pull it, and then the other person, probably in the other room or in the other lighting point, is assisting you. And then as you communicate, and there you have it. So we are first of all starting with the 1 gang, all right? But we need to do the wiring for those. So what we do have here is the neutral for that lighting point. We have the other half from the switch, which is this one, as you can see. All right. So we now need to ensure, we need to ensure that we get power all the way here. Am I making sense? Because we'll have a joint here, so this one will remain like so. That's neutral. Now we need to tap this power here all the way here. So we need to have some wire pieces going right there and use what is already readily available. So again, from this point to this point, we need a black and a red cable. Again, those are just colors in my country. I don't know if you have any question. Let me just read some of your comments. Watching from Nigeria. Thank you so much, Kid Baby. Stephen Kariuki says live from Muranga County. Thank you so much. Muranga is just near where I am. I appreciate. And Laban Letaya says watching live from Nakuru County. Good job, top boss. Thank you so much. Albo Msafi says anyone who has information on how I can get to Mr. Top Boss, drop his number, please. So my contact is 0711 34 34 12. Kameri says, briefly explain how you connected the CCU, consumer unit. Briefly. Okay, I'm going to do that. Plastic surface mounting, nice one, this one. And then we also have batteries. Plastic mounting, that is from my top boss. A plastic box, that is Henry. Thank you. Electrogenius engineer, good to see you. You say following. Thank you so much. Now from here, we need a neutral and a phase connection. So we definitely have that. We have the neutral, have the phase connection. So this is what you're going to do. We simply do that. And then using our steel tape, we just pull it through to that point. Now from here to here we will need okay, for now let us not talk about that. First we are wiring that one to this one, and then we'll go to two gang. So what we need to do here, for the one gang which is activating this bulb, we simply need to connect the switch itself there. So where is the switch? Should I use a two-way or a one-way? My top boss. Let me use a two-way so that in future it will even be easier, for me to upgrade to a two-way. Thought I had a switch here which had all the screws, and I also thought I had a tester. Here's my tester. My tester was somewhere here. Let me take another one. So the main difference between a two-way and a one-way is this one. So you can identify that here you have common. You also have, let me just turn it like so. You have common, and you also have common. For a one-way, you only have L1. You can see here, there is no connection here. There is no way you can connect a cable here. When it comes to a two-way, what you have is you can connect L1 cable here and L2. So these two switches cannot work together. They can work one at a time because one is one way, another one is two way, isn't it? So because I want to, in future, I want to make, I want to change that wiring that is on the board so that you can have one way, one gang, two gang, three gang for two-way versions. I will simply make good use of the two-way switch that I already have. I have the two-way switch here. Okay. So I have the two-way, have the common, very important, have the L1, the L2. So shall we proceed? So at this point, I just use my stripper. Now, let me explain something a bit about a stripping tool. Stripping tool here, these areas will just cut the cables depending on the size, you see. And then here we have this point, have this one, have this one, this one, as well as this one. So increasing in terms of size. So going for the list, we have a 1.0, definitely going to use the smallest one. I mean a 1.5. So I'll simply have it go through that gap there, right? And press like that, and then simply strip. You can see even the cable itself is not dented in any way. See, it's not affected. Cable is okay. So what we have done is to strip the cable. So now at this point, we're going to connect. We're going to connect. We're going to connect our bulb. I think at this point it's better for me to have the camera closer, isn't it? So that I can be able to clearly see what I'm doing. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for participating in a way of commenting. Yeah, it means a lot. It means that you are following. You also appreciate my work. It means a lot to me, my top boss. So there we have it. So we need a switch here. We also need a bulb holder here, right? So in simple ways, I'm going to strip this one that I can have the bulb holder, strip the neutral. This is what is going to the bulb. This other one is the face, or if you may call it the feed. So if you may start with the switch, we are going to connect what is the feed here, or the face. I'm going to connect the face here. L1 is what I'm going to use, so that this switch, once you press like that, it will activate on the lower side. It will be on once you press on the lower side. If you connect it on L2, it will switch on at the upper part, assuming that I will retain the position where this is the upper, this is the lower. Make sense? All right. So the feed, which I had already marked with this tape, so that goes to L common. Okay. Then I simply screw it like that. I think I have to reduce it a little bit. Then this one, as we have agreed, goes to L1. Goes to L1. So it's there. All I need to do is to simply screw it. And there we have it. So I'd simply need the screws, the BA screws. Making use of these screws here. So if you have just joined me, we are wiring the 1 gang, 2 gang, 3 gang. In this lesson of today, we want to understand clearly what it means when we talk about 1 gang, 2 gang, 3 gang, and not just what it means, but how to wire, how to connect that. So that is very, very important. So look at that work. Is it neat? Haha, bragging right here, as if I have bragging rights. All right. Yeah. When you go to the bulb holder, simply screw it like that. So what we have here is these 2 pins, So for those 2 pins, their connection are N and L. That is what we need to connect our cables there. So for L, we'll use straightforward this one from the switch. Once activated, it will power on, and we will be testing that. We also have the neutral, which is this one. So we simply connect right there. Another question that may arise from this type of connection: where is the earth connection? For today, I'm not connecting the earth, but I will connect it later. Oh, there's a question that someone had asked. Can you briefly explain the consumer unit connection? I'll do that, but again, kindly check a video that I've done on consumer unit wiring, right? So that at least we can save on time, isn't it? Thank you. Consumer unit wiring. I've done a very extensive video. I think it was even if I'm not wrong, it must have been a live stream. Okay. Surely. This one is not connecting. Seems like I'm going to have a rough time right there. Huh? It requires the bigger screws. Don't know where I get them. Now I need to improvise there. I need to improvise so that, or rather, let me get the screws. I'm unable to get the screws, so we definitely have to improvise. So how do we improvise? I'll get this piece of wire inside here, fold it like that, then have the screw go. Have you seen what I've done, by the way? I've folded a wire inside there, and then I'm going to have the screw so that the size of the thread will not be as big, so that it can be able to hold the screw. These are some of the tricks that we do when we are in the field. You don't have the right screw, and we want to do a neat work. So because this one is simply mechanical, it only requires you to use your mind. All right, seems like it's too big, so another trick is normally to simply strip it so that you only have the insulation going in. Instead of having the wire, remove that, you have this one going inside here like that, and then you can have the screw. Bottom line is that as long as it works, these things are just mechanical, but We normally say that you don't compromise when it comes to electrical. So make sure do a perfect job. Now, allow me to only use one screw because we are going to get rid of it so that we can have to wire the three what 3-gang switch. So now for that set of wiring, let us connect all the way to the consumer unit. So we have our neutral here, this neutral. So when it comes to this point, remember these are just like we may even call them pathways for power supply all the way to that lighting point, assuming this is in a certain room or it's a corridor whereby the customer doesn't want light at that point. But as an electrical technician, you have already designed that the light is required here, but the customer says don't include the lighting point there. So what do? You simply connect it like that. You join the cables or you join the wires right there. The next time we'll be wiring here, we will use the Wago connectors. Wago connectors, I found them to be very good because you save a lot of time, and then the joints that you make are great. So I hope that in the next session where we will be doing that, we ensure that we have the correct tools, or we'll do it the correct way. So I'm going to use different tapes here for obvious reasons. This is called color coding. I'll ensure that I color like that. Simple. When it comes to the face, I'll also ensure that I do the same, the red tape like that. Then have all the cables inside there. Assuming that this point is not going to be used, we are going to use something else here to cover. It's referred to as a circular cover. Don't know whether I have it nearby here. I don't. I think I had it. So if the customer says I don't want a light here, you don't leave it like this. Use a circular cover so that your work may look decent, isn't it? So a circular cover also requires a screw right there. And because we have been having issues with the type of screws that I have, so I'm still going to use this and ensure it goes inside here like that so that it can get hold of the screw. Should I say don't try this at home? No, you can't, because at all you are working for a client, you are in a place whereby the shops are not accessible, or even if they were, you will not have those crews in that shop. For instance, there is a time whereby we went to Bungoma. My Kenyan followers know that place. So my apologies about the sound. Are we back? Sound check, sound check. Is my sound okay now? So sorry about that. Top boss, please confirm whether my sound is back. How is my sound? Is it working? Right. So the customer said that I don't want to have a fixture there. You ensure that you seal it like so. You know. And if they also insist that I don't want a switch at this point, you also seal it. And for that, we normally have something to use, for sealing that point. So the customer say that because I'm not using that lighting point, what about this point? You don't also leave it like that to look very, very shoddy. Is my sound okay now? Please, can someone confirm? Just text, say yeah. I have Edgar Mugare says, yes, you are audible now. Thank you so much, Edgar. So if the customer again says that they don't want a switch there, you don't leave it like that. You ensure that you cover it. Cover with that. Isn't it? Nice. Now, finally, we are at this particular point where we need to terminate at that point. So what we simply do here, again, like we just did here, is to terminate. You know, we say that a pliers is a multi-purpose, so you can use it to strip, but again, the issue is it can dent the wires. That is the major problem with the pliers. If you're not very careful when it comes to stripping, so I would prefer to stick with what I find very reliable when it comes to stripping. So that is what we have. So for the neutral, using tapes, insulating tape to color code. Just do it like that simply. Have it in there. Use a black one. For the neutral, now if we are not going to use this lighting point here. What we'll also do, assuming the customer, your client has said that, you know what, I don't need the light there. So, Mr. John, what you need to do is to simply cover that point. I say, my customer, that is okay. Your wish is my command, or I don't know what you guys say. So all I need to do is to simply seal that point, and again, remember, it is very safe, even though it is up there in the ceiling. It is important for you to ensure that apart from looking neat, it is also safe for your customer. 13 of us, thank you so much for holding on to this point. I really do appreciate. So my screws are small. That is why I'm using that to cover. So I have these. Then I take my screwdriver. Make sense? So this is called a circular cover. Simple. Circular cover. The other one for the switches is called, is it a flat cover? Don't think you can call it a switch cover. It doesn't make sense. Flat, is it flat cover or something? So the reason why you cover these points here is, number one, for safety. Some kids can come and mess with it, trying to, kids try. Even myself, I was worse, trying to insert stuff in here. So that is the number one reason why we do that. Number two, for another important thing is to avoid insects, building their homes there and making it difficult for future maintenance work, or bringing issues such as loose electrical connections. So that is why we make sure that we seal it. And of course, number 3, which is last but not least, as they usually say, is for aesthetics. Make sure that your work looks neat. Having done that, I will definitely I'll want to also connect. Having done that, I will want us to activate this circuit from the consumer unit. Now, from the consumer unit, what we need to do is to simply so now so we have wired our 1 gang switch to this lighting point. We have sealed this point. We also need to seal these 2 points here. Very important. Assuming that the customer is not interested in those switches, we are going to seal them. We'll definitely wire the 2 gang and the 3 gang, but for demonstration, the customer has said that they don't want that light, they don't want that switch. You seal both. So the next time that we come to wire, you will simply, and I'm using only 1 screw, but again, we need to engage all the screws, for the sake of time and just saving on materials. I'm using only 1. This is just a demo, so don't be so too hard on me. So this is what we have. As an electrical designer, you thought that it was wise for you to have so many lighting points, and so that is how you seal. So we are first going to demonstrate how that one will play out. Then we'll have to demonstrate a 2-gang. We'll have a 2-gang here and a 3-gang here. So yes. So my top boss, if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, and also like the stream as we continue. So we're going to connect the face to the consumer unit as well as the neutral. Now, it is important for you to note that the face as well as the neutral here, the neutral is connected right to the bar here. No, I'll simply connect it to the bar, and then so I'll backfold, connect it right there. I don't know whether these cables will make it. If I have this cable coming all the way here, let me see the shortest distance. Remember what we said, the shortest distance possible. So I'll have the neutral here. Nice. There's a very simple way that we can have it connected, because most of the work John had already done. So good job, John. Good job. Good job. Tap yourself on the back. This is how I usually congratulate myself for doing something good. So I had already done most of the work. I will simply connect it there, and then I will have the face coming all the way in. Loose electrical connections, especially at the consumer unit, are definitely, as we normally say here at Top Heights, a recipe for disaster. If your connections are loose, you are in for trouble. So you must ensure that your connections are perfect or are perfectly done. So let me just have the final cable. So we say last but not least. So we had already done an electrical installation for, the consumer unit. As I was saying, you can check it out on our channel. So I'm just connecting these cables so that we can energize our consumer unit. So let me just have my cables organized here, like so. I need cable ties. Don't know where my cable ties are. I had them here. I really need to get them. When wiring the lights, do you ensure that you have, here they are. Do you have those, do you connect your earth cables, your earth wire? My top boss, what are your thoughts when it comes to wiring for lighting? So you are at a customer's, you are carrying out that electrical installation. What happens when it comes to the lights? Do you ensure that you also include the earth wire? What happens there? Back in the day, I remember when the fluorescent tubes were very popular. there is no way you would skip earthing the lighting. You know, nowadays we have these LED bulbs, so most electricians don't see the need to install the earthing connection for lighting. But is it about how you feel, or is it about the standards that are set? What goes on in there? Hmm? So we have the feed or the mains right there. The incoming, you know, from, so that is our source basically. That is what I'm trying to say. So this is the incoming power, gets to the double pole, the energy meter. The energy meter definitely supplies power to the consumer unit, and then comes all the way. Now we have the wiring, which I already did. So now I want us to connect the light, you know, to energize the light. So allow me to have my camera closer. That I can demonstrate to you from the consumer unit wiring point, isn't it? Right there. So at the consumer unit, my top boss, what we have for the lights, we have the phase cable, have the neutral. Let us start with the neutral. The neutral will go direct to the bar. Very important. Now, we simply need to connect it right there, the neutral bar. We have the neutral cable, backfold it. It's a single strand, so you don't need to use the ferrules like we've been saying, been singing about using ferrules. Why is my screwdriver this type? Screwdriver is this type. Notice the insulation. It is also magnetic. Have to brag a little bit. It is magnetic so that it can allow me to, you know, hold screws like a pro. I want to hold screws like a pro, like that. So at this point now, we are using a 6.0 MCB. They are 6.0, so I will also have Now, before I go to that, we say that we make good use of the consumer unit. Why do I need to have this cable go all the way instead of just cutting it? Is for future maintenance work. No? So I will ensure that I make good use of the enough room that is in the consumer unit like that. But at least I'll ensure that I make sure that the cable inside there. So uh, this is what I will do. I'll have the cable go directly there. Use my pliers to ensure that it looks good. That it goes all the way there, and then simply straighten it. Woo. So that is not a final way to do things, of course. I think there's a better way that I can do it. I will still do it. And then on this face, I backfold. And then because I have a 6.0 MCB, so in case there's a fault on that line, it will trip. A 6.0 for one bulb or for few bulbs is still very small. So we need a less, I mean, it's too big. So we probably require an MCB which is smaller in size, so that it can be able to trip even with minor faults such as an internal harm. What can I call it? An internal fault in the lighting, in the bulb itself. Can use these. I'll see, wiring for lighting is very simple. Once you have identified that you require the source, that is from the consumer unit. At this point, once you have the feed, you can even seal your consumer unit, because all the other lighting points will be fed from there. Yeah. This one is supposed to go like that. Anyway, you get my point. So my talk boss allow me to briefly explain what I've done. Today I wanted to wire 1 gang, 2 gang, 3 gang. I've wired 1 gang here. We have connected it all the way to the consumer unit. Now, from the consumer unit, to get to this point, you have the neutral and the face going all the way until this point. And then here, you have the neutral going direct to this bulb holder. But this face cable proceeds all the way to the switch. At the switch, the other cable from the lighting point is connected here to now the switch at L1. Or if you're using a one-way, it will be connected to L. the face, you will connect what is the main that comes, the face cable or the live wire that is coming all the way from the MCB right until this place. So we use a bulb to test our work and see whether we have done the correct thing. I'm checking my bulbs because, you know, sometimes I have colored bulbs. Sometimes I have DC bulbs. What happens when you connect a DC bulb to an AC source? What do you expect? What do you expect, my top boss? What will happen there? What will happen to the bulb as well as to probably, you know, the MCB you have connected? What will you expect to go on in there? You know, someone can tell you that, you know, you can simply connect a DC bulb. In fact, it doesn't consume a lot. It will simply draw a little current, and you go ahead and connect. What happens? So we test it, all right? First, let us activate our energy meter. It is on, right? Are you able to see that? The energy meter is now on. That being done, before we can activate our consumer unit, let us do some bit of intelligence here, which is troubleshooting. Now, some of you, I see people creating videos, especially in the US, and then they are closing their eyes and just like kind of second guessing. Will it turn on? So for me, I normally test for continuity. I'll have my meter point continuity. Continuity means that the wire not broken or it is continuing. So I will have my meter set at that point. Continuity, or looks something like a diode. See that? So once I test for continuity, it will simply tell me whether there is a fault. Daniel says from Tanzania. Thank you so much for joining in, Top Boss. Now, what do I expect from this point here? I expect it to, so my switch here is off. Let me turn this one on. So I don't expect any short circuit at the output. So if I have the neutral, you know, the neutral bar which are connected. If you want to know that it is continuing, you know, all the neutrals need to give you that beeping sound. The neutral and the earth connection are not connected, and they are not supposed to be connected. So there's no beeping sound. There's an open, that is good. Connected, that is good. You have that beeping sound. And most dangerously, the neutral and the phase should not be connected, and that is why we have an open. It is a 1 or infinity. So if I place these probes between the face and the neutral, it has to give me a 1, infinity. That is a neutral, and neutral is okay. Neutral and a face, infinity. Now, when it comes to my connection, the breaker is off, so I turn it on. Again, I test the neutral and the face, infinity. So the neutral and at the point where we have output to the bulb, infinity or 1, meaning the two wires are not in contact with each other. I turn the switch on and also test the face and the neutral. It gives me a 1, still infinity. So that means that circuit is very safe. Now I can activate it. All right. So I turn it on at this particular point. Already my bulb is on. So if I switch it off, it turns off. Switch it on, it's on. So we have done a good job. We want to test the circuit breaker. If we trip manually, our light is off. Okay. If we switch it off at this point, the main switch, it turns off. So our wiring is okay. Switch it on, it turns on. That. If we trip this RCCB, it has to turn off. Like that, because the RCCB activates all the MCBs here. Have it like that. So what do you think about that work that we have done today? Maybe the topic of the day should have been how to wire a bulb to a switch, and how to test the connection. So my top boss, what remains now for this work is to wire a 2-gang and a 3-gang. So a 3-gang here will activate all the 3 lighting points, this one, and this one. So from here I will have a 3-gang to switch this bulb. The first gang switches this bulb, the second gang switches this one, the third gang switches this one. I'll also have the 2-gang switch, so that these 2 gang will activate either the first bulb here and the second one, or this and this. We will also go further and wire the 2-way version of these switches. Probably we can have a 3-gang but with a 2-way version, so that if you have a 2-gang here, a 3-gang here, and a 2-gang here, this 3-gang can activate all of these bulbs, and then you can have this 1-gang activate this bulb from this point, as well as have another gang activating or deactivating or switching on and off this bulb, alternating with this switch. It is all possible. We can do that, my top boss. But today we have simply wired a bulb to the switch. We have also wired it to the consumer unit. At this particular point we have demonstrated how to do that, and we have said that in case the customer does not want these extra lighting points, how do you deal with that? All right, maybe they want it wired in future. You simply seal it by using circular covers. Once you seal it, you have prevented rodents, or not rodents, flies or insects from building their nests there, which can compromise on that pathway for electrical installation. You have also ensured that it is very safe. No one can interfere with that, especially the children. And last but not least, you have ensured that it is good for the eyes or aesthetics. It looks so neat. Your work looks so neat. So that is what we have done today. In the next live session, I'll be able to wire the 2-gang and the 3-gang. And thank you so much, my top boss, who has been here. Finally, last but not least, allow me to say thank you to the members who have joined in the past 1 month. I have Adam's Gift. Is a member of Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Ogunleye Samuel. I have Leletu Mafufu. I have Seth Mulama. I also have Listen to this. Afar Yusuf Bashir, who has been a member for 8 months consecutively, consistently. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I really do appreciate you, my top boss. Before I go, let me read some of the comments that you have been able to put forward while I was going on. Edgar Mugare says, I was talking about the sound. I was having a little challenge, but now I'm okay. And then I have Kigundu says, live from Eastern Tororo, Uganda. Thank you so much for joining in, my top boss. I also have Real Madrid. Hamadi says, when will you be live again? I will definitely communicate in advance, my top boss. I'll definitely be live tomorrow. I want to be coming on live stream every day. And then Adeyemi says, from Nigeria, thank you so much. Lucas Pablo says, watching from Namibian. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to have you, my top boss. And Nelson says, big up. Nelson Loyanas. Thank you so much, my top boss. Leanne Okodel says, hi, I'm new here and I'm Ivan from Uganda. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ivan. Good to see you. Karibu. And then I have Ivian Okodel says, like the clarity of the sound. Thank you. Thank you. So the sound has been good, apart from that time that we did have a challenge. Also, the picture, the image is quality, right? Awesome. How about the network? It is awesome. We continue like that. So follow me on my YouTube, on my Facebook channel. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere with the name Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. Subscribe to this channel, my top boss, and I really do appreciate your support. I have top bosses from TikTok who have joined me. I also have my top bosses from Kenya. The majority of you, according to the YouTube analytics, you are from Kenya. My top bosses are from Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, Zambia, Mozambique, South Africa. Mozambique, really, yes. South Sudan, Somalia. I really do appreciate you so much. I also have friends from UK, USA, and it means a lot for me to have a lot of you, from across the globe watching me. Top Heights Electricals and Electricians is global. We are doing great and we are yet to do more. We will do a lot more. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for tuning in, my top boss. Thank you so much for watching. If you'll be watching this stream as a recorded version, I really do appreciate. Smash the like button as well as subscribe if you have not subscribed. A lot more is coming when we shall definitely be wiring a lot of these on this practical board. Also, if you are interested in me performing or executing a certain electrical installation on this board, feel free and I will definitely do it, be it on the comment section of this video, be it on our inboxes. I will be very glad to engage with you. Thank you so much, my top boss. My name is John Gatehi and this is Top Heights Electricals and Electricians. I will be glad to see you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Daniel Mariki, thank you. Thank you so much, my top boss. It was an honor to have you.